Hello and welcome to Yoga and Wellness with Rachel. This is an evening practice and all of our poses are going to be lying down. I do encourage you to have 2 blocks nearby and a blanket would be nice as well. Now you can do the practice certainly without these supports, but it'll make it a little more yummy, a little more relaxing to have them here. Now I do want to let you know before we dive in that I am not going to be waking you or bringing you out of Shavasana because this is an evening practice. You may be using it to help fall asleep or to help you get back to sleep. And so I'm not going to be bringing you back out of Shavasana. So if there is something that you need to do, go ahead and pause the video and set an alarm nearby so that you don't have to worry, so you can really relax into your practice. Now, all of our poses today are going to be reclined, lying down on our back. So I do encourage you to have 2 yoga blocks where you can reach them. And we're going to start in a reclined butterfly. And so if you are using a blanket in your practice, I encourage you to have that nearby because that can feel really nice in this shape. So let's begin, my friend. We're going to go ahead and make our way down onto our back body. Now, I do, like I said, like to have a couple of blocks for this pose. Before we get into our butterfly, I want to take this blanket and I'm just going to place it underneath my hips. This is totally optional, so if it doesn't feel good or if it doesn't sound like it would feel good, feel free to skip that. And then we're going to take our blocks. We're going to bring our feet together, let the knees spill open, and just place that block underneath the outer knees. Good. If you want to, press into your elbows, wiggle a little more length into your spine. And then your arms can rest out by your side. You can place your hand over your heart and one over your belly. You can place your hands over your eyes. Whatever feels good. Allow your eyes to soften down or close. Take a deep breath all the way down into the belly. And just gently release the breath all the way back out. Good. 2 more great big breaths just like that. In through the nose, all the way down into the belly. Release the air all the way back out. Good. One more time, just like that. Take a nice, long, cleansing breath all the way in. And gently let it go. Just coming now into a natural rhythm of your breath. Letting yourself surrender the body weight into the support beneath you. Letting yourself be held here in this shape. And as we arrive, inviting any tension in the forehead, those worry lines we get, inviting them to soften and release. Bringing our awareness to our third eye, that space between the eyebrows. Just inviting it to release and soften and let go. The temples, the cheeks, unclenching the jaw, relaxing. Just finding a few more deep and mindful breaths right here. Letting yourself surrender. Ready, ever so mindfully, bring your hands to our blocks, bring our feet to the mat as the knees point to the sky. You can set your blocks off to the side, and then ever so gently press into your feet to lift the hips enough to remove the blanket if you're using it. You can set that blanket off to the side, and then from here, we're coming into our figure 4. So you're going to maybe walk the feet in a little bit closer, and float your right foot up towards the sky. Good. Externally rotate the leg as you take that right ankle over the left knee, pressing the right knee forward, and just maybe let the knees rock a little side to side. Good. A little massage through the low back. And maybe you'll stay right here. Maybe you'll pause to lift that left shin, hug the back of the leg or the top of the shin. And so energetically, we're drawing the left knee in, we're pressing the right knee away. And you might bring some little circles into the left foot. Sweep the ankle the other way. Good. Maybe point and flex the foot. And then take your time. Set the left foot back down on the ground. And we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Now you might stay right here, or you might come into a half happy baby. So we'll take the right knee outside of the rib cage, and then take the foot up towards the sky. You can hug the back of your leg, the outside of your calf, the outside of your foot, but we're drawing that knee towards the armpit in a way that feels good. So again, the knee is outside of the rib cage. Now your choice here, you can keep your left foot completely grounded, or if it feels nice, you might rock onto the outer edge of that left foot, letting the knee open out to the left just a little bit. Now check in with yourself. If any tension has crept into the shoulder or the jaw, take a deep breath in. Let everything go. Good. Just a few breaths here. And so if your left knee is spilled out to the side, you can rock mindfully back onto the left foot. We'll hug that right knee into the chest. And then set your right foot down beside your left foot. We'll come into a bridge pose. So you want to have it so your fingertips, your longest finger, can almost graze your heels. And the feet are even with your sitting bones. Press the palms into the earth. Press your shoulder blades into the earth. Press into all four sides of your feet. Good. Keep the neck long and the gaze up. And as you're ready, draw the belly button towards the spine. Press the low back into the mat. And curl your tailbone up towards the sky as you press into the inner feet, press into your outer toes, and breathe. Good. Neck stays long, gaze stays up, press into those palms. Beautiful. When you're ready, breathe out. Roll the spine back down, one bone at a time. Maybe rock the pelvis forward before settling back to neutral. And as you breathe out, hug the knees into the chest. Take a few little knee circles in one direction. A few little knee circles in the other direction. And then pausing to set the feet back down on the ground. Rest the hands wherever they're comfortable. And float the left foot up towards the sky. Bend the knee as you externally rotate the leg, placing the left ankle over the right knee. And again, maybe you'll settle right here in stillness. Maybe you'll let the hips rock gently side to side. Good. Pause in the center if you'd like to. Hold here. Or lift that right shin parallel to the ground. Hug the back of your thigh. Or if you're more flexible, maybe the top of that shin. Whatever is available to you. And again, you're drawing the right knee in. You're pressing the left knee away. And you might bring some energy into the right foot and ankle. Good. Breathing. Maybe flex and point the toes. And then when you're ready, set that right foot down on the mat. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. And we'll take the left knee to the outside of the rib cage. You might just stay right here, or you might take the foot up towards the sky, drawing that left knee down towards the armpit. Good. Again, your right foot can stay planted, or you can rock onto the outer foot as the knee spills out to the side. So it's really whatever feels good for you. Allow the shoulders to melt into the mat. Tune into the rhythm of your breath. And that right hand can rest wherever you want it to. If you are on the outer edge of that right foot, let's rock back onto the entire foot. Hug the left knee into the chest. Set that left foot down on the mat beside the right foot. Place the palms on the ground beside your hips. Press your shoulder blades down into the mat. Take the gaze straight up to the sky so the back of the neck is nice and long. Good. You might want to walk your feet in a little bit again. The feet are hips width distance apart. And as you press into the palms, drop the belly, drop the low back. Curl the tailbone up towards your knees.
Good. So energetically, it's as if we were pulling the heels back and lifting the hips towards the sky. Good. So the hips are kind of going forward and up, and the heels are drawing back energetically. Palms can press into the mat. The neck stays long, shoulder blades broad. And with mindfulness, exhale, roll the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Once you reach the bottom, you can pause there or rock the pelvis forward before coming back to center. And then hug both knees into your chest. Find a few little knee circles in one direction. And a few little knee circles in the other direction. And then pause here, hug the knees into your chest. And we're going to take the shins parallel to the ground and then separate the knees wider than the rib cage. Now you may choose to stay right here. That's totally fine. If you would like to come into a full happy baby, if you can keep your low back glued to the mat, then hug the knees in towards your armpits. See how my hips lifted there? I want to plug that low back right back into the ground. Good. So you're drawing the knees towards the armpits. You can hug the outer legs, the outer feet, the outer calves, drawing the body down towards the mat. Now, your choice here to find stillness or maybe a gentle rock side to side. Breathing deeply here. Good. When you're ready, hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. We'll set the feet down on the mat. Take the arms out into a T. And you're going to bump the hips just a teeny tiny bit over to the left. Lift your shin bones parallel to the ground again. Knees are together, feet are together. And let the knees spill open to the right. Now, this may not feel good. You may need to place a block or a blanket underneath the outer legs so you can feel comfortable and supported. So feel free to get into a shape that feels good in your body. Let yourself soften down through the shoulders. Feel free to keep your gaze up or maybe turn your gaze out past your left thumb. Soften down through the body, soften in with the breath. Maybe let the eyes close. If you're gazing out to the left, you can inhale, take the gaze back up. If there's a support underneath the right leg, you can take your hands there, and as you lift the knees back to center, set that prop off to the side. Press the feet back into the ground. Then you're going to bump the hips through center, a teeny tiny bit over to the right. Arms can return to that T. Take your shin bones parallel to the earth, and then explore your twist to the other side. Support the body in any way you need to. Let that right shoulder soften into the ground and choose a steady gaze. Maybe close the eyes. Let your mind follow the rhythm of your breath. Feel the breath in your body as it comes and goes. Deeply. Exhale, take the gaze back up to center. Take a deep breath in. Draw the knees back to center. Set the feet down on the mat. Bump your hips back to neutral. You might find a full body stretch, taking the legs out long, reaching the fingertips back behind you. And then from here, bending the knees. If you do have a blanket nearby, I'll invite you to consider placing it beneath your hip bones. We're going to come into a waterfall pose, and sometimes it just feels nice to have the hips a little bit higher. Totally optional here, but when you're ready, hug those knees into your chest, and then take your feet up towards the sky. Now, if you actually have a wall nearby, you might take this pose against a physical wall, but it's our legs up the wall pose. Now, if you want to hold onto the backs of your legs, that's totally fine. You can bend the knees as generously as you need to. You might just let the arms rest out by your sides or overhead. Good. Let the eyes soften down or close. Let the hips sink back into the mat. Let the shoulder blades soften back into the mat. Let go of any control of the breath, but allow your mind to follow the pattern of your breath. It feels good. Breathing in a deep sense of peace and presence. Exhaling, inviting the body to soften and release and let go. Good. When you're ready, hug the knees back into your chest. Set the feet down. If you've got that blanket, go ahead and remove the blanket. I'll invite you to place the blanket over the tops of your thighs as you stretch your legs out long. Separate the feet a little wider than your hips and let the feet release down, just letting gravity draw the toes away from each other. Settling into Shavasana, final relaxation pose, and just let the arms rest wherever they're comfortable. Let the back of the neck be long, and tune into the rhythm of your breath as you soften in, relaxing the body.